Hello, Mina. Hello, everyone. We're going to be making a bear wreath today. Well, honey and bees and a bear. So this one is advice from a bear. Protect your honey. If you do not know how to put the cable mounts on, I have a different video for that. Go ahead and check my profile, and inside there is videos. I may also tag it down below. Okay. So we have this one. It is a metal sign. It's from Mama Creations on Etsy. Then we have this beautiful ribbon here. I probably should have opened it before I started. Has little bees and some honeycomb. And as always, my ribbon is all wired. This is a 1.5 inch ribbon. It is from Craft Outlet. No, I do not have affiliate link. They do not do those. So there's that. There's some cute little bees on that. Then I have this. It's also from Craft Outlet. As you can see, there's a lot of it. The cardboard on the outside has decided to come off. So this one you buy in bulk for 50 yards. Okay. So this one was probably around $12, $14, and I've had it for about a year now. So I just like to keep solids and maybe just a little bit of detailing in my ribbon. This is a constant thing that I always keep in my ribbon. I also keep lots of different kinds of solid prints of ribbon. Sometimes I get it from Craft Outlet. Other times it's from Sam's. This is Sam's Club ribbon, Members Mark. There's 50 yards in there. I've used it in my previous bee wreath video. It is just honeycomb. Okay, and so you can see the tan coming through here. You have tan here, and then you have tan here, but they still all tie in together. So that is why we are using these three. I don't know if we'll use all three, but definitely this one and this one. Okay, next I'm going to show you something new. These are picks. I got them from Craft Outlet. Yes, I love Craft Outlet. I like the system and how do you order and stuff like that. Anyways, so these are just foam, and then they wired them. So they ain't going anywhere, and I love picks. So I'm going to show you how to use picks today. First, let's prep them and pull this apart. So we want 1 and 2. Okay? I don't know if we'll use all 4 today, but we will see. Okay? Do the same thing here. Pull it apart. So the way that they make these picks, in order to make wreaths with picks, you need to understand how they made the picks. Inside of the pick is wire, and then they twisted it up, and they attached, see the wire is coming out here and goes around here. So this whole wire is one. This whole wire is one, and then they use floral tape to connect them together. Because they use floral tape to connect them together, and they're 2 solid pieces, we could just pull them apart and then use these as individual bees. Okay, so now we have 4 bees instead of 2 picks. So now we have 4 picks instead of 2. Okay, and let's get all this little, that's the floral wire there. Then my messy table. We are also using our 22 gauge wire. Yes, I use 22. A lot of other people use 26. That is for jewelry making, and it's too thin. It has snapped on me before. Mainly with the heavier signs it snapped, but I would still prefer 22 gauge wire, floral wire. Okay, I get this one from Michael's. I get this giant spool for like $3. So normally I don't buy a lot from Michael's, but this is something that I go back time and time again for. They also have the green. Then we have my wire cutters. They're cobalt. I got them from Amazon. They're amazing for cutting floral wires. We have my scissors. They're Friskers. They're really, really easy to use for mesh. These scissors are only used for mesh. I am missing my ribbon scissors. And these are my ribbon scissors. I tell the difference because this one has a gray handle. My other scissors over there in the bucket, those are for like paper, fabric, that kind of stuff. These are only for ribbon, okay? Only for mesh, only for ribbon. Okay. Next we have our golden, like a golden yellow, almost orange fabric mesh. Yes, we are using fabric mesh again because I'm doing a cruffle. I love cruffles. In another video, we will go through all the different kinds of mesh. But this is the one that we are using today. We're also using the black. If you do not already know from a previous video, fabric mesh, if you look at it, you will see the different kinds of stuff that they put in there. So the see-through stuff is actually deco mesh, the cheap value deco mesh. And then they threaded fabric, which is these bright yellow strings that go across. That is why they call it fabric mesh. Yes, you can melt it. It does not stay as well as, say, regular deco mesh with the foil. But yes, you can cut it and melt it if you wish. I do not because we're using the cruffle, and you will not see the edges anyways. That's just wasting yours and mine time. All right. Then we have our black. Yes, I'm using the same as the other bee wreath video. It was just easier to buy 2 of each of the colors, and then I will use them together to make a different wreath later. I will have extras for each of these. And then we have our pipe cleaners. Those came from Amazon. We have our clips. These are from the Dollar Tree. I love my clips. Well, and then this frame came from Walmart. Yes, you can use a dollar store frame. The reason why I'm using the one from Walmart is because my sign is smaller than what I anticipated. I did not read the dimensions. I just found it very, very cute, and so I bought it. I should have read the dimensions. So anyways, it's smaller than I anticipated, so it's going to be going on this side, either this side or this side. That's where that is going. Okay, so let's put our stuff over there for now. Let's move our ribbon out of the way. And let's put the picks out of the way so that they don't get in the way. Okay. So first what we need to do is we need to, does anybody know? We need to cut our mesh and we need to put our pipe cleaners onto the wreath. So if you have not seen in a previous video and you're new, hello. We're going to get a marker. This is what I do. You do not personally have to do this if you do not want to mark on yourself. I do. Eventually it comes off. And yes, it is a permanent marker. Sometimes I make more than one wreath during the day and I don't want to have to keep on doing it. This is just what I have here. So I measure out 4 inches. Okay, so here to here. And no, it does not have to be exact. Just around that. You could use the mat that's underneath you or a ruler, whatever. I just find it hard when you have something round. And so like if you're going to measure 4 inches and you put this at the 14 and you're trying to get it to the 10, it's hard to determine where it needs to go, so you have to turn it to kind of like match up where the numbers need to be. So that is not what I would like to do. I just like to use my hand because then I could just curve my hand to where I need it to be. Okay, so take your pipe cleaner. Remember, we always do 2 rungs. This is the brackets. This is the rungs. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rungs. Okay, and no, it is not lifted up a little bit. It's basically flat. So you can use the ones lifted up a bit. It does not matter with using this kind of mesh and the way that we are going to do it. It does not matter. All right, so let's do our first one. I believe with this frame, it's really, really easy because I think it's the same all the way around. Let's see here. So you twist, make an X, and twist. Pull tight. Twist twice and pull to the inside. Okay? All right, yep. So all of the ones on the inside, since this is from Walmart, having trouble speaking today. I guess my brain is farting today. This is the 10-inch form from Walmart. Sometimes they are hard to find, so whenever I find one, I pick it up. So I'm just going to do this all the way around. This one is pretty much the same on the inside. On the outside is a different story. But these ones here are just on the outside of the brackets. You can measure if you'd like. You would like to call them. I would also like to point out that when you do this, make sure that your knot is on the inside rung here. So on the 3rd rung, okay? I don't want the knot on the inside here because then you're going to end up with some blank spots on the inside and you don't want that, okay? So when you do your knot, make sure that you're doing the X on the 3rd rung, just like that. There we go. See, they're all on the 3rd rung, okay? So make sure that is what's going on there. Let's get some more pipe cleaners here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go in between these 2. And we're going to go through the 2nd and 3rd brackets. But the knot is going to be on the 2nd bracket. So make sure your pipe cleaner is about the same. Bring it over. X at the 2nd rung. Twist once, twice, pull it out. Just like that. Okay, now let's measure. So we're a little bit more this way. We want it on the 2nd bracket or the 2nd rung. X, twist, and out. Let's measure again. Now, if you find yourself going to be close to where the other pipe cleaners are, what I would like you to do is go to the opposite side and start going that way. So this one is really close to that one. So let's flip it this way and go this way. It will off-center the other ones. And so you don't have as many close to the other ones. You want them kind of away from each other. Okay, so since it is doing that, let's move this a little over this way. And yes, you should be able to move them just a little bit, and that's okay. Let's move this one about there. Okay, that looks good. Sometimes you just kind of have to fudge it a little bit. That way it looks right. So these 2 are going to have to be close to these other ones. But as long as the entire wreath is not like that, it should be okay. It may bother you later, and then if it does, go ahead and just move them around a little bit. So they should not move freely if you shake it. If they do, they are not tight enough. You need to go back in and tighten them more. Okay? So if you shake them and they move, tighten them. If they don't, then you're good. Okay? Let's put these over here to the side. All right. Now that we have our frame done, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We need 13 pieces of mesh. Put that in there. Okay, so since we have 2 colors and it is an odd number, what we're going to do is we are going to cut 6 of each, and then whatever color looks best on the last spot, we will cut 1 more of that color. That is what I normally do. Okay. So when we are cutting, we cut these at 28 inches. So you pull your mesh over. Now, I would prefer you to cut through the middle here, in between the lines, this way. We're not cutting this way. Never cut your mesh this way. You always want to cut it this way. Okay? If it's not long enough this way, then you need to get a bigger mesh. They have 21-inch mesh that you can buy. So please, please, please do not cut it this way. You will end up with a mess and it'll fray everywhere. It's just going to get ruined. Okay? I have seen so many people cut it that way. Please don't. It'll ruin your project. Okay. So we're going to cut right here in between. You see that? Try to stay in between, but if you can't, that's okay. It's going to be covered up anyways. There we go. Okay. Cut it up. That's 2. We're doing 6 of these. And as you can tell, I have no shirt on my sleeves, on my arms. I have no sleeves. The reason why is because your mesh will attach to your sleeves and it will pull on your mesh and ruin your shirt. So I prefer to work without sleeves. If you do have to have sleeves, and like say if you're cold or you get a rash from the mesh, whatever it is, go ahead and use like a really tightly woven cotton blend. If you use anything that's like silky or fuzzy, any fleece, anything like that, it's just gonna destroy it. I have this awesome poofy sweater and it's ginormous on me, but the mesh is pulled at the little tiny hairs, the little fabric on it, and it looks like it's coming apart. So please try to keep your fabrics away from the mesh. That's 4. Go. And if you do this like me where you put your thumb in and you just pull it out, please be careful. If you use a different mesh from like say Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Walmart, whatever, they have staples instead of tape. And so if you put your finger in there and you start twirling it like that, it's gonna cut you up. Okay, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 more, and then we can start doing our cruffles. There we go, and we are done. So next we're going to get our clips. So let's close our scissors. You just push that down. I'm going to put that right there for now so it's out of the way. All right. So if you have been here before, you should know how we do a cruffle. but I'm going to take my scissors so it's easier for you guys to see. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our corners. Let's get a clip first. We're going to take our corners. See how it's fraying right here because we messed up right there? That's okay. No one's going to see it. So we're going to fold over like that. It does not have to be perfect. No one is going to see this. Okay? Fold this over. There we go. And then fold this over. And then you're going to roll up. This is what I call a folded cruffle. I learned how to do cruffles from, I think, Hardworking Mom or Monkey's Creations on YouTube. Julie's Wreath Boutique doesn't usually do cruffles. She does do floral, like the flower wreaths. So let's do it again. Fold it over. Fold this over. Fold the top and then roll it. So a cruffle is a curl and a ruffle in one. That is why it's called a cruffle. I do not remember who named it. I'm sure you could easily find that. Okay, there we go. And then clip. And I realized that I did not explain how to walk up. That's okay. We'll do it again. All right. So we're going to fold over just like before on both sides. Then we're going to fold up just like before and then roll. Get your clip, pinch somewhere in the middle. Now you're going to fold over again, then fold up, and then roll. Okay, so now when we walk up, put your thumbs on the back of the curl, your fingers on the front, and I want you to pinch the curl with your pointer finger and your thumb, and pull the mesh towards you. You will have more even curls than walking up, or ruffles, than walking it up. The reason why is because when you walk it up, you don't have control on how much fabric, how much mesh that you bring towards you. This you do. All you have to do is bring your fingers, pull them out, and then pull towards you. That's it. Pull towards you. And then put it into the fingers that you're already pinching. It is that simple. And that is what that looks like. When we put it on the wreath, it's going to look just a little bit different because it's going to pop up a little bit. So it's going to kind of look like that. Okay? And yes, we are doing the curl side up. I should have said that earlier too. So, see how it's curling inwardly? That's the curl side up. This, where it's curling down, is curl side down. Okay? So we're doing curl side up. Prefer just the regular. We have our last one. Roll it up. And yes, you can use the little clips. You can also use like bag clips or clothespins. Literally any kind of clip that you have, it'll work. These are just the ones that I use. And I'm thinking about getting some more big ones. There we go. Ta-da. Okay, so let's get our wreath form. Alright. So it is up to you whether you want to go in the middle first or on the outside first, or just kind of work your way around. It's really up to you. It does not matter. I find it's easier to at least do the back or work your way around, because if you have the stuff on the outside here, it's harder to put the mesh on the inside. But like I said, that is your personal preference. I'm going to tighten this one up a little bit. There we go. All right. So let's start with a color. Doesn't matter which color. You can pick the color. We're going to be putting it on the knot right here. Pinch. So you have your pipe cleaner, one on one side, one on the other side. So it's going to squash it in between like a sandwich. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your pipe cleaners. You're going to cross them over like an X. Do you see that? And then you're going to pull, 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 and then twist. You want to twist twice. Oh, we have a fuzzy. Okay. I know it looks weird right now. It'll be okay. And if it's a little bit off, like say if you didn't exactly put it in the middle, then just pull a little bit and it'll fix itself. Okay. Let's do black. So we alternate. I alternate. It is up to you on what kind of wreath you are making. But this one we are alternating. Okay. So X, pull, twist twice. Okay. So I've been catching up with My Hero Academy. I was very surprised. Like, that episode was, woo! And no, I'm not all the way caught up. And I did watch the new episode of Attack on Titan, the final season. Yeah, whatever. They said the final season like 2 seasons ago. Part 4 or whatever. Alright. Put it into your pipe cleaner. Bring them up. X. Pull. Pull tight. Twist. Twice. So as you go, make sure that it just kind of sits right next to each other. So this is the outside of this one. Okay. And then this one should be coming up like this. Okay. All right. So let's do a yellow. Kind of judge to see where the middle is with it. Pull this up a little bit so you can see it. Open. X, pull, twist. And no, I'm not going to give you guys any spoilers for any animes that I've seen. I don't even know if most of you watch anime. I also do watch true crime stuff, mostly on YouTube, just because I like to watch new ones, and sitting through like a 2-3 hour long video is kind of a turn off, so I usually don't watch them like that. Okay. This one is going to go right here. And look at that, we need a black. I was right. Okay. Lift this up a little bit. There we go. Now let's cut our black. Now we are completely done with the mesh. Look how much is left. This is a 10-inch frame. And we still have half of both of these rolls. Okay, so we can still make a whole nother wreath with this. You can even change the colors and make a whole different wreath. It doesn't even have to be a bumblebee. Okay, fold over, fold that over, roll, clip, almost done. Bring it towards you. There we go. Okay, find your empty pipe cleaner. Here it is right here. If you cannot find it, here's a trick. Flip it over. You will see where all the other mesh is, and so you'll be able to tell where your empty pipe cleaner is. Okay. Or if you forget on how many bunches you need, go ahead and just flip it over, because that'll be the same amount of ribbon that you cut as well. Unless you're doing something different. All right, there we go. That is our base without the ribbon. Now let's see where we want to put our sign. So always plot out where you're going to put everything. Don't worry about the little white pipe cleaners. And no, I do not use the different colors. You could get black pipe cleaners. You can get the golden yellow pipe cleaners. But I'm not spending my money on that. And honestly, no one's going to see it if you do it the way I do it. So there's no point. So, other side. You could do it there. Do it there. I think I like it over here better. Yeah, I think so. Okay. So today, we're also going to need to map out our bumblebees. That way we know where to accent it with our ribbon. You can also like kind of adjust your bumblebees so that they look nice. See this one, I put the wings up a little bit. It's just wire. You could just bend it a little bit. It's not going anywhere. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna want a bumblebee here. Let's put one up there. Let's put all four on, I think. We'll put one down here. And we'll put one, maybe we should do a bow. That would be nice. So why don't we put this last one? Why don't we move this one over here and put this one up here? I think that'll look great. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're going to, if we're gonna do a bow, you might not see this bumblebee. We'll come back to that. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna bend your pipe cleaner so you know where your bees are gonna be sitting. Okay, it'll help you guide the ribbon that you have later. Okay, bend them over. This one's gonna go up here. Okay, and then this one right here. Okay. So take your bees off. They will be going on last. Okay? We're not putting them on right now. Your sign goes on second to last. So it goes your sign and then your bees. So go ribbon, then bow, and sign, and then your bees. The reason why I do it that way is because the ribbon will get caught onto the bees when you're putting it on. On top of that, the ribbon needs to be under your bees. And the sign needs to be on top of the ribbon, along with the bow. Okay? So let's make a bow first, just so we know what we are working with. Okay, so first I twist it around, so now I need to figure out where the bow is. Okay, so the sign is right here. Or right there. Okay, so I think, yeah. Yeah, this was it. So sign goes here, bow goes here. So what you need to do is you're going to take something, anything. I'm going to take my scissors. And you're going to measure from where you want your bow to be to where you want it to end. Okay? So the reason why we do this is that it'll tell you how big you want your bow. Okay? So we're going to go like this. I'm going to go from there to there. So you take that. So it's about 6 inches. Okay. So let's take our ribbon. We're going to make an easy bow. Alright, so for this bow, we're going to need a zip tie. Okay? And we're going to need some wire. But first, the zip tie. So first, you want to figure out which one you want to be the middle piece and which ribbon you want to be on the outer piece. So you could do like a mixture. That's fine too. Since we are doing the 1.5 inches, these are all 1.5. We're gonna have to do a little bit more loops than what I did with the 2.5 in a previous video. So let's start with this one. This is my pin. Okay, let's move that up. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure. And so I want tails too. So what you're going to have to do is measure how big you want your loop. Okay, so my loop is going to be about this big, and then tails. Okay, so we're going to want them about 24 inches. So the reason why we have 24 inches, okay, first you need to think about your mesh is 5 inches from here to here. Okay, if it's in the middle, then it's 5 inches from the middle to the out. Okay, and then you have 5 inches from here to here, so that's 10 inches right there. Okay, but then you don't want it to just sit flat on the mesh, and so you're going to want it to come up a little bit, plus you have your tails. Okay, so let's cut it at 24. You can even cut it longer, and then if you want to cut it down like the tails later, that's fine too. And I think that's what I'm going to do, just in case, just so we don't waste as much ribbon. Okay, so I'm cutting these at 28 inches instead of 24. If we need to, we'll cut it down. Not a big deal. You could always save the ribbon for different stuff later. Sometimes I wrap ribbon around, if say a frame breaks. That's 3, 6, 9. Okay, so let's do 3 of each color. If say a frame breaks and I already have the entire wreath done. Okay, so what I normally do is I get a piece of ribbon and I get my E6000 and I get my E6000, glue it back, and then I glue the ribbon onto the wire and hold it more steady like a brace. If you have not seen my bow videos, They are in the shorts for YouTube, and I also have the videos posted on my profile. We could do several different bows, but today we're doing this one. The reason is because cruffles are very poofy. That is the reason why we're using them. But if you use a regular bow, sometimes it does not turn out the way you want it to. So take your ends, match them up, and then just bend them at the top. We're not making our bow just yet. We're just folding them so that it is even. Okay. The one that I cut shorter, let's start this one off as the middle. That way we know one of the middle ones. Okay. So find where it is folded. Okay, this is the open. This is the folded. Okay. So go ahead and get your next one. Do this. Match them up at the top. It does not matter about the bottom. Match this one up at the top. The bottom we can fix later. It's not a big deal. Okay. Since we have done that, let's go ahead and I'm going to put this one here. You know what? I don't like that. I think I'm going to put this one there. Just kind of change it up a little. There we go. Put this one here. This one here. You could always fix it later. We're just putting it in the order that we want. And this one here. Just so that there is not the same one next to each other. And that is what, unless that is what you would like. Okay. Remember, you can make wreaths to look like anything. It is only set by your imagination. Okay? All right. There we go. Okay, so now that we have them all lined up, we're going to measure. We're going to go down to the 5. Let's go down to 6. 6 is good. 5. Let's do 5. Yes, I know I changed my mind. Okay. We're going down to the 5, and you're going to squunch it like that. Just pinch it. This is a zip tie. You're just going to put it around the back. Put it where your finger is. Put it in first, and then you could tighten it as you go. Just so that if you let go, it's not going to all fall apart. Okay. So it is not all the way tightened. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull it and then just rock it back and forth. Sometimes I hold on to the bottom and pull real tight. Okay. Now we're going to find our wire cutters are all the way over there. So let's use these. Okay. Our wreath likes to push things away from me. So where is the wire? Of course it is all the way over there. Give me a second here. Okay. So like I said before, this is a 22 gauge wire. You find your end just like that. And yes, you need to put your wire on before you fluff it. That way you don't have to worry about it later. You don't have to make it super long. It's just going on the wreath. This is what? 14 inches. Probably is a little bit too big, but better to have it too long than too short. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to bring the wire, make it so that the tails for the wire are about the same length. You're going to put it to the side, X, and twist. That's all it is. You're just twisting. Twist that a few times so that it looks like this. Okay, that's like about 1/4 of an inch long. And then pull them down with your tails. Okay, next, what we're going to do is we're going to work on the tails first. You're going to be holding it where the zip tie is. Okay, just pull this up like that. And then twist the one that's facing the other way up. Okay, pretty side up, always. You always want the pretty side up. Just like that. There we go. Okay. Don't worry, it'll stay where you want it to go when you put it on the wreath. Okay, let's start on this side. That way we have the same amount on each side. Just twist it. Let's put you here. You could always adjust it later. Pull it up. I'm going to put you over there just so that it's not the same next to each other. There we go. And put you here. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 more sets. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull this side over here. This one needs over here. And then this one is going to go over here, right across. This one is going to go, let's put this one like here. And we're going to put, I know it looks kind of weird right now. That's okay. I promise. This one can go over here. This one is going to go over here. All right. Now that all of our tails are out and they're going the right direction, it's okay if it looks like that. It looks like a little monster right now. It's fine. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your first loop, open it up, put your 2 fingers in there, okay? Then you're going to take your 2 fingers, turn them, okay, so they're parallel. Spread your fingers and pull. You want to pull them away from the ribbon behind it. You see how it's kind of tucked in right there? You want to pull it away and pull. This one we're going to have to twist. So we're going to pull it away from those and twist so that it goes here. There we go. This one we're going to pull away and twist the opposite way. So pull, twist this way. If it wants to go the other way, see how this one is like, no, I want you to go that way? That's fine. Put it that way. There's no point in fighting with it. As long as it looks okay, you don't need to fight with it. Okay? Pull, twist, put it over here. So now that we have, this one wants to go this way too. There we go. Once we have them all poofed, we are going to figure out which ones are going to go in the middle. This one's going to go there. You can see if you just want one. You can put 3. It is up to you. They are your loops. You can make the bow however you would like. If you don't want all these tails, go ahead and cut some off. Just cut it real close to here so that it looks okay. Okay? So this one I'm going to put in the middle there. And we're going to put this one right here. Okay. So now our bow is starting to look like a bow. And just kind of twist them. Make sure they're pointing the right way. Okay? Just like that. Even if you wanted to move 1 or 2 around, you could do that too. I'm actually going to do that too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this one there, that one there. Twist away from each other. And I'm going to put this one in the middle. That way the bees are not so close together on the outside. See how they're far apart now? Okay. So don't worry about the tails just yet. We're not there yet. So next what we're going to do is we're going to find our wire, which is right here. Now it's under the bow. Magic. And we're going to figure out where we want it to go on the wreath. I messed up on that bow. That's why it's sitting there. I still haven't done it yet. Okay. So you could also color code them, the pipe cleaner, so you know where you want the bees and stuff. I'm not that organized, so that's just how that's going to go. Alright, so the sign's going to go there. The sign's going to go here. No. I believe the sign goes there. Yep. Okay, that's where the sign goes. Alright, so the bow is going to be going over here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to be putting them, you see how I pushed everything to the side? We want the bow to come in between the second and third rung. You want it on, go through this side in between the first and second, and then the other wire to go in between the fourth and the third, so that it goes like this. Okay? That's what you would like. We do not go through the mesh. Do not go through the mesh. It creates more fraying. Please do not go through the mesh. So take your wire, split it apart, put it through, and I'm going to flip it over here in a second so you can see it. Okay. When you finally get the wires on, put your mesh back, because you want it to sit the way it's going to sit when you tie the bow on. Okay? Now, when you also put the bow on, I want you to keep in mind where the tails are. If they're coming out a certain way, go ahead and just kind of twist the bow a little bit. Okay. So, we're on the second and third. We're going to pull tight, twist. Does not matter where the knot is for this. Okay, so that's about 1/2 inch right there. We're going to cut that. These are my other wire cutters. They're not as strong as the other ones, but they do get the job done. These are Milwaukee ones. I believe I got them from Walmart. And so we're just going to tuck that wire in right there. That's all. That's all it is. Okay, make sure you put your wire in the trash. It is not a pretty sight if you step on them. Okay. This is our middle. So next, what you're going to have to do is figure out where you want your tails. Okay? I'm going to put the shorter tail on the one that we we cut that was shorter on the outside right here. And then we could put the other one over there into the middle. Okay. All right. So you want this one here. Get your little loops here. Make sure they're going the right direction, sitting where they need to be. Oh, we have a loop right here. Now, you can take this a step further and spray it with fabric stiffener, and it will keep them from moving as much later. It is up to you. I prefer not to, just because it is expensive. Okay? All right, so next we're going to take our tails. You want to figure out what tails you want in the middle here. It is literally up to you. But I think I'm going to put like that. This one is flipped, so it needs to be like that. Now you can also layer them so that you have, say if we did this tan one, we could put this one on here, and then we can cut it shorter so that when it sits on top, it's shorter. You can see both. Okay, let's do that. Okay, starting to look like a really good bow. We should have put our pipe cleaner through before we did this, but I guess we'll just have to deal with it. If your tails do not want to sit where you want them to, pull it all the way up and just twist them on top of each other like that. You need to figure out where it's getting caught on, and then you could fix it. How did I end up with those like that? All right, let's put this one on the side. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. Next, we're going to take our scissors. We do our bow so we know where it ends. I know, it seems like a lot of poofing, but I promise it'll pay off in the end. Okay. So I do dovetail my tails. A lot of people do not, but I do. So let's put this one there. Sorry, had to fix something. Okay, so we have our short one here. See the short one? Okay, so I'm actually going to cut that up just a little bit. I'm going to put that there. I need to empty out my trash bin. So you're going to fold it over. Get your scissors. Be careful, do not cut yourself. Do not forget to get your magnet. You don't want little pieces of wire going everywhere. Okay. So, and then we're going to take this one and we're going to cut it to be about the same, I think. And put it there. And then we're going to dovetail this one, fold it over, and just cut it at a triangle. So there you go. Now these ones are going to be longer. Let's cut this one to be about here, and then this one is going to be about here. This one's going to be about the same as this one. So this one is going to sit on top of these tan ones. And then we're going to cut our little dovetails. All right. Now that we have our tails all sorted out, this one goes in the middle. Okay. There we go. What do you think of the bow? And it doesn't indent in like the other ones do. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, if you look, these two pipe cleaners are sitting over where the bow is. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our pipe cleaner, put it through the frame, that, then put the other one on the other side. And yes, we should have done this before we put the bow on. That is my mistake. And then do the same thing for this one. Put it through. I'll turn it around so you guys can see. Okay. I'm not going to lay it down because of the bow. So next we're going to take them, pull, exit, X like the letter X, and twist. You're going to want to twist this at least 3 or 4 times. And then twist this one, pull, and twist. Do you see the pipe cleaners underneath the bow? Nope. That is why I just do white pipe cleaners. It's not going to be shown through. Okay? Alright, so now that our bow is on there, let's see what it looks like with our sign. And of course, our sign moved all the way over there. Okay. So our sign is set to go about there. Okay? I think it's looking pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something like the last one, except it's going to look like the ribbon is coming from the bow. I know that sounds a little weird, but hear me out. It's going to look pretty good. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to put this to the side for a second, because we're going to want ribbon underneath the sign. The sign is small enough. It'll be okay. Make sure you get your pieces of wire that you cut up. You don't want little pieces of wire everywhere. Okay? Alright. So the ones that I want running is probably this one and this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these and I'm going to put it under here and I'm going to put it into here. So we're going to want a little bit of a tail. So find, I don't know, like at least 4 inches, if not 5. And then just kind of pinch it. Open up your pipe cleaner and put it in. Okay. There we go. And then we're going to do it just like this. See how it's overlapping a little bit? Okay. You could also put them into the mesh that is coming from underneath the bow. And so that'll really look like it's coming from the bow. This is just what I wanted to do. Okay. So you want it to be at least going over the mesh like this. Then you just exit and twist. You want it to give it a little bit of slack right there. Now, keep in mind where your sign is going to be, because if you put a loop like this where the sign goes, it's going to just be wasted. It'll have to be pushed down. Okay, so this is where we're going to want to stop right here. Okay, so Make sure it goes at least over the mesh and give it just a little bit of room to breathe, to move around a little bit. You don't want it too tight. Twist. I should have done the bottom one too first, but we'll deal with that in a minute. I was too excited to do this part. Alright, so this will be the last one, and then we're going to leave a little tail. Go there. Put it into the pipe cleaner. Twist it at least twice. Twice is more than fine. Okay. And then cut it off. Right. Don't forget to make your little dovetail here. And we're going to have to go back and do the other one over there. I am really scatterbrained today. Okay. Need to go back and put a dovetail over here. Okay. Now we're going to take the rest of this ribbon and go from here all the way and meet us back over here. Okay, so we're going to find the one closest to it. So it's going to be this one. We're going to put our ribbon on this side because we're coming from this side. Okay. Because you want your tail on this side. Because you're going that way. Get your tail. Right. Tail this side. Go. Okay. Now that we have that one done, we're going to do the inner part. Okay. And now you could choose whether to do the same ribbon or you could do different ribbon. What would I like to do? I can bring some of that hive ribbon in. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So let's put this line there. It keeps getting in the way. Let's get this ribbon. Move this ribbon out of the way. Go. So you want the ribbon to be on your right side, the spool, when you're working from the left. So get some tail. There we go. Put it in. Now we can accent where the ribbon goes in to get bunched with the beads. And so it's going to accent each other. Okay. There we go. All right. Keep going. So this one is going to end here, just like this one, except I want the tails to go that way because the sign is going to sit here, and so it's going to cover it if we put the tails this way, but we want the tails to go that way. Okay, so we're going to put this in, figure out where we need to bunch it. Okay, when you put it in, make sure that the wire is going to be facing that way. Twist. Okay. Cut off a piece. Put your dovetail. When you do it, pull this way. Okay, there we go. Now you could even start from here if you wish, instead of going back around. Since you already have it all set up right here, let's go ahead and do that. So let's put our tail here. X and twist. Ta-da! Okay, let's measure the tails. Oh, they're about the same. Alright. And then bring them down like that. Go to the next one. Figure out where you need to put it into the bunch. Always adjust the mesh as well, just so that you are doing it accurately, so it doesn't get too tight. You could also skip where your pipe cleaners are so that it's a longer one. They tend to be more loose that way though. But whatever look you're looking for, you can go ahead and do that. This is just an easier and faster way to put your ribbon on your wreath without making a whole bunch of cuts. Okay, fix the ribbon right there. Put it in, X, twist. Okay, cut your tail off. Go. And then we're going to do our dovetail. And you could have these connect any way that you would like. You can go this way instead of going across. It's literally up to you. Any imagination that you have, any idea that you have, you can totally do. You just need to figure out how to do it. All right. Now that we have all the ribbon that we need on here, you could also add the tan through and put it here so that it comes out. I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. All right. So next what we're going to do is we're going to put the pipe cleaners back through, and then we're going to put our bees on. Okay? So we're going to put our bees on. So we're going to put our pipe cleaners back through just like we did with the other ones. I'm going to put them all through so you can just a few more. Some people just cut it off. I like pulling it through just because it makes the mesh pop more if you pull on it, and so it'll make it floof out a little bit, and then you won't be able to see the pipe cleaner at all. That's my personal preference. It is up to you whether you would like to do that or not. I know I am, as far as I know, I'm the only one that does it this way. But I have not watched all the people on YouTube. So one more. All right, now all of our pipe cleaners are through. So next you need to pull. I would prefer not to put a lot of weight on it just so that we don't have to do as much poofing later. Pull, twist at least 3 times. Just leave it there. We'll come back and cut it in a second. Pull and twist. Pull and twist. Pull, twist. This one needs to be twisted again. Pull and twist. Okay. Make sure you're pulling hard, okay? Pull and twist. Just a few more. Pull and twist. If you have to pull one pipe cleaner more than the other, I would suggest pulling the one in the middle. That way it'll look fuller on the actual frame instead of on the outside. Okay. Then we're done. Okay. Take your wire cutters, cut them. Since we're going to be putting lights on this one, I'm going to keep the bigger wire pieces of pipe cleaner, and we're going to use them when we put our lights on in another video. Make sure you're cutting above where it's twisted, and then just push the top into your wreath. Just so that you... Alright, there we go. So now that we have that done, let's go ahead and put our sign on. There we go. And yes, we will fluff after we put the sign on and the bees. Okay. Let's throw that over there so it doesn't keep getting caught. Okay, so we have our sign. We're going to get some wire. Yes, you can use a pipe cleaner. I prefer wire because for some reason the pipe cleaners just eventually loosen up a little bit. And so your sign will start getting loose. And I just don't like that. So I use wire. We only have 2 pipe cable mounts. We're going to be putting them through the hole, through both of them. So you have one hole on one side and one hole on the other side. There we go. Pull your wire so it's about the same. And just kind of pinch down here at the bottom a little bit so you know where you're going. X and twist just like we did before. Just like 2 or 3 times is fine. And then do the same thing up here. X, twist. Okay. There we go. And then find where you want it to be. So this one is going to be sitting up like this. It's going to go there. So you're going to need to put it in between the mesh. There's a hole right here. So we're going to put it in there. Do not put it through the mesh. You will make your mesh fray. So I guess if it's just for your home, you know, go right ahead. But mine is for selling. So I'm not putting them through the mesh. I am putting them through the wire, through the frame. Okay. And then just kind of tighten it on the back. It doesn't have to be tight right now. Just so that it doesn't go anywhere. And then put your other wire on. There's nothing worse trying to put wire on and then the other ones keep on coming out. Just tighten it so that you can not have to do it again later. Okay. right, now put it where you would like it to be. So I want this one to be right there. Pull the wire a little bit so you know where you want it to be. There you go. All right, so actually I'm going to put, I'll show you in a second, this one around there and move this wire a little bit that way. Okay. So our wire, our top wire, I put around the 4th rung and the 3rd. Always put around 2 for this kind of thing. Twist. Okay. So before we cut it off, let's turn it around and make sure it's where we want it to go. Okay. That way you don't have to try to undo it when it's that small. Okay, that looks good. So let's go ahead and cut that off. Like I said before, if you do have to take the sign off or have to replace it or whatever, you need to use new wires. So you might as well just cut it off. Okay? All right. Now let's put our beads on. There we go. So where do we want to put our bees? I want to put one here. So when you put your pick on, because of the way that it is sitting, you're going to want to bring this up like this, and then it's going to come through your wreath. So what you're going to do is you're going to put it in between rungs 2 and 3. So on the other sides of them, you want it around 2 rungs. I'll show you here in a second here. So put this one in between 4 and 3 and pull it to where you want it to stop. So you don't want it all the way down there because then you won't see it. Okay, so this is about the height that I would like it to be at. So I'm going to put my hand here so it doesn't go any further. Okay, put your hand here so it doesn't go any further. Pull it over and put this back through in between the 1st and 2nd rung. Okay. And it moved a little bit. That's okay. We'll fix it again. We want it to be about there. So now you have your wire that's coming up like this. Okay? You don't want to see your wire. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring it and you're going to exit down here just like we've done before and twist it around the one that's holding up the bee. Okay? Once you have twisted that several times, go ahead and just cut it off. Because this one is not heavy, we don't have to like make sure that it is completely safe and everything. It's not going anywhere. Okay. Then I'm just going to fix my bee rings here so they look a little nicer. There we go. All right. And that is our first pick. Let's put our next pick. Let's move this so I know where they're at. I want to put the next pick like right here. So let's put this one in between, again, in between 3 and 4. And then we're going to pull it up in between 1 and 2. Make sure your bee is standing up like this. And maybe make sure the direction that the bee is going. So this one is going straight up like this. So maybe we should have this one turned a little bit like that. Just so it's a little bit different. and then pull this up into okay. Make sure you adjust the height. We don't want it way up there. We want it down here. Okay. Twist X and twist with the one that's holding up the bee. Do it like 3 or 4 times around it, and then just cut it off. Anything that's hanging off like that, go ahead and just push it down. It's not going to hurt anything. There we go. There we go. How's that looking so far? Let's turn this one a little bit like that. There we go. Let's put the next one down here. So this one is actually going to sit in between, we're going to put it in between 2 and 3 because it's going to be on the outer side. And then we're going to put it, the bottom part, through 1 and 2. Okay. Make sure your wings and everything are up. Look at the height on where you would like it to be, and then which direction it is sitting. So let's put this one like that. And don't forget that it's wire, so you could always twist it later. It's not a big deal. Go ahead and cut it off. Push it back down. There we go. We are almost done with this wreath. Okay. Now let's put one more. Get attached to each other. Okay. Let's see, where should we put one more? Now we can make a decision to put the bee in the middle of the bow. I think I kind of like that. So I'm going to put the bee in the middle of the bow. So what we're going to do is make sure your bee is standing up like that. Okay? Find where the bow starts, where the zip tie is. Do you remember that? And then you're going to put it in between 2 and 3. And then bring it up and through 1 and 2. Adjust the height on where you want it to be, and then bring it over just like we did before and twist it. And then cut it off just like before. Push that part down. Now, as we do this, let's poof out our bow so we know where we want our bee. Okay, and then put this down like that. Just like that. I'm going to put the bee right there. Now, if he is not sitting exactly where you want him to, feel free to use some E6000 to put him and glue him onto the bow. That is if you would like to. You do not have to. You could also put him somewhere else on the wreath. Go. Spread these out a little bit. There we go. All right. There we go. Next, let's just kind of poof a little bit. Make sure everything is sitting where you would like it to sit. Here's this bee. Okay. Do not forget your hook for the back. So I get my pipe cleaner, and you're going to find where the top is. Okay, so my top is about right here. You're going to take it and run it through the third and the fourth, bring it up, and then twist it around the longer part. Okay, that's all there is to that. And then we're going to do the same thing. Bring it up, twist it through the longer part, and then we have our loop. Ta-da! All right, and now we have our wreath. Of course, you could always poof for like an eternity. That's usually what happens. All right, tune in next time. We are going to be putting lights in this. I'm thinking orange or white. I have not decided. You could also use flashing lights or multicolored, literally up to you. These ones are from Walmart, and I will show you the package and everything. They might also be from the Dollar Tree, depending on what color I picked. Okay, so please like, comment, and subscribe. Look at the link below for my Facebook page and my Shopify. And have a good day. I'll see you next time.